Today, May the 11th, the second day of the 10-day intensive meditation retreat. This session, the encouragement talk with the advice of Satipatthana meditation practice. In the sitting meditation, the primary object, rising, falling, or sitting, touching, or any other secondary object that come obvious. In the walking meditation, the steps, right, left, lifting, placing, lifting, moving, placing, whatever object that one is noting, in order that the mind should be concurrent with the presently arising object that one is noting, there needs to be two important factors so that one will be able to note the object. So these two important factors to be applied every time one notes the object. The first one is initial application, vitakka. One needs to aim and direct the mind onto the object and viriya, effort. One should make the effort pushing the mind towards the object. In this way, when the yogi apply these two factors, aiming, directing the mind onto the object, putting effort, pushing the mind onto the object, the noting mind reaches the object of meditation. Our Saroji gives an example of picking up a piece of food. So when you are taking your meals with the fork to pick up the piece of food. So when you use the fork to pick up the piece of food, you need to aim the fork towards the piece of food that you want. Aiming the fork alone is not enough. You need to apply the effort so that fork is pushed towards the piece of food. So in this way, when picking up the piece of food, aiming the fork, putting effort, pushing the fork towards the piece of food, you'll be able to pick up the food that you want. Aiming alone is not enough. If you don't put effort, the fork will not reach the food. If you just put effort without aiming, then fork will not land onto the food that you want to pick up. So you need all these two factors, aiming, effort, to pick up the food with the fork. In the same way, whatever object that you are noting, in order to be able to note the object, you need to aim and direct the mind onto the object so that the noting mind will be direct or face to face with the object. Putting effort, pushing the mind towards the object, the mind reaches the object of meditation. So every time one notes the object, every single second, you need to be applying these two factors every single second so that you'll be able to note the presently object one after another. In this way, if you are able to apply aiming, directing the mind, effort, pushing the mind onto the object, then the noting mind reaches the object. and mindfulness develops. The noting mind stick onto the object, just like when you throw a stone on a soft surface. The stone sinks into the surface. In the same way, noting the object with aim and effort, the noting mind sticks to the object of meditation. And when mindfulness is sustained, samadhi, concentration, the mind being calm, collected on the object. So these factors, viriya, here in this case, samavayama, sati, mindfulness, samasati, right mindfulness, samadhi, samasamadhi, right concentration. These three make up viriya. These three make up samadhi khanda, concentration group. So when these three are present, viriya, sati, samadhi, being present and noting the object, when defilement has no chance to arise. When the note, when the object has been noted with these factors, viriya, sati, samadhi. So when defilement, greed cannot arise, anger, hatred cannot arise, when these factors are present in each noting, the mind is pure, being away from defilements. By noting the object one after another continuously, having these factors, viriya, sati, samadhi, in each of the noting, continuously, one after another. In this way, the samadhi khanda concentration group becomes strengthened and panya, knowledge, unfolds. So it is samadhi, right view, discerning the nature, characteristics of the object that has been noted. So in order for the panya to unfold, these factors, viriya, sati, samadhi, should be present every moment, one after another, so that these will become strong and knowledge, panya, arises and samadhi. And in the noting also, flying the mind onto the object, it is vitaka samasangapa. So in this way, the panya group, panya khanda, panya group, samasangapa, right application, samadhi, right view, also develops. So these five factors are present in the noting when one can note concurrently, discerning the object that has been noted. So these five factors are factors of the preliminary path, Obabhaga Magga. It is the preliminary path that arises at the time of practicing vipassana. And when knowledge ripens, when the knowledge arises stage by stage, and when the knowledge ripens, then one can attain the path knowledge. At the time one attains the path knowledge, it is the Ariya Magga, super mundane path. In order to get there, we need to work on the Pubbabhagamagga preliminary part to develop these factors. In this way, when noting the object with aim and effort, when sati, samadhi becomes strong, when the noting is continuous one after another, one can discern the nature of the object that has been noted. In ourself, there is the mind and the matter. Among these two, the matter, the materiality, is most obvious. Among the materiality, the most obvious are the four. Patavi Dhatu, the earth element, Tejo Dhatu, temperature element, Vayu Dhatu, air element, Apo Dhatu, water element. So these four are most prominent, and among them, Vayu Dhatu is the most prominent among the four. In our body, these four elements are everywhere, even in a very small spot, as tiny as the tip of the needle. Even in this tiny place, compared to the tip of the needle, these four elements are present. And each of these elements, they have their unique individual nature, unique individual characteristics. Just like food we eat. The food we eat, each of them have their flavor, such as sweet, sour, spicy, pungent, salty. Each of the food have their unique flavor. In the same way, the nama rupa also, each and every nama rupa has their unique individual nature. Just like every food has its own flavor. Patavi Dhatu, you can experience Patavi Dhatu, earth element, as hardness, softness, roughness. It is the nature of earth element.
Patawi, Patawi Dhatu ini atau unsur tanah ini kita bisa mendapatkan pengalaman sebagai rasa keras, kemudian lembut, ataupun kasar. Ini adalah sifat dari unsur tanah.
You can experience Tejo Dhatu as warmth, heat, cold, lightness. So these are the nature of this temperature element. Vayu Dhatu, air element, you can experience as stiffness, tension, movement. So stiffness, tension, movement is unique to Vayu Dhatu. And Apo Dhatu, water element, you can experience as fluidity, cohesion, congealing. It is unique to water element. Whatever object that you are noting, whether you are noting rising, falling, or sitting, touching, or lifting, moving, placing, or bending, stretching, whatever object that you are noting, if you pay attention, if you note the object with aim and effort, you can come to notice any of these nature that have been mentioned, because throughout our body, these four elements are present everywhere. Okay, I want to give you an example. This morning, you from standing to sitting, uh, you were asked to do slowly, mindfully. So can we do it again to see what to see or to know what nature you can experience in the standing, in the sitting down?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you please slowly get up, slowly, mindfully. Okay, now you are standing here. So when you note the standing, keep the awareness on the whole body standing. Note it as standing. Focus your mind on it. Aim the mind towards the object standing, putting effort so that the noting mind falls on the object standing. Keep the awareness on the whole body standing. Note it standing. Okay. What do you notice when you note standing? Pardon? Heavy. Yes, it can be heavy.
Berat,
Yes, stiffness.
kaku,
Hardness. Yes, hardness. Yes. Anything else?
ada yang lain?
Hands or relapse. So this is just an example, yeah? When you are standing, when you pay attention on the whole body standing, notice standing, you can come to notice either the stiffness or the hardness or the tension or the heaviness, any of the nature that is obvious in the standing. So it may not be the same all the time. At times, one might notice the heaviness. At times, one might notice the stiffness. At times, one might notice the tension. At times, one might notice the heaviness. At times, one might notice the heat or any other. Yeah, because you pay attention, you come to notice what is really there in the standing. Okay, when you are about to sit down, you can note seeing, wanting to sit. When you note sitting also, do not sit abruptly, but slowly, mindfully, keeping the awareness on the whole body as a whole. Sit inch by inch. Yeah. So now please sit inch by inch, slowly, mindfully, paying attention. Yes. And stop. You just hold it and see what do you notice. Stop in the middle way.
Heavy, Sally.
Heavy. Yes. Yes. Sit slowly, inch by inch, flowing. Heat. Yes. Heat. Yes. Okay. The gents are giving us answers. What about the ladies? Yeah. Don't let them. But usually when you sit down, it's the heaviness, the stiffness, heat. Yeah. So just now, it's just an example. Yeah. When you are mindful of the standing, when you pay attention while you are sitting, you can notice any of the nature, any of the characteristics that are in the standing, that are in the sitting. So it's just an example. In the same way, when you are noting rising, falling, or when you are noting sitting, touching, when you are noting lifting, moving, placing, daily activities such as bending, stretching. If you focus your mind, pay attention, noting with aim and effort, you can come to notice any of the nature, any of the characteristics. So, discerning the nature, the characteristic of the object that you are noting, you cultivate knowledge. It is samadhi. So, do not be discouraged if you have not noticed anything yet. Just keep on doing. So long as the mind is directed onto the object, so long as you are putting effort in noting the object, as long as you are noting the object with aim and effort, as long as the mindfulness stays on the object that you are you are noting, as long as the mind falls calm, collected on the object, you are doing your duty. And when the mindfulness and concentration become continuous, you will come to notice these nature, these characteristics. So tomorrow the interview starts. So I would like to explain how you should be reporting during the interview. In order to be able to explain how you practice and what you notice in the practice, you should report systematically within the time frame that you are given, 10 minutes for each person. At first, you must report how long you are sitting in each session. If you can sit 1 hour or if you can sit 45 minutes. And you first describe whether you can note the primary object, rising, falling, or sitting, touching. If you can note the primary object concurrently, precisely. If you can note the primary object precisely, what you come to know. For example, when you note rising, yeah, rising occurred, I note it as rising. When I noted rising, what you come to know? Is it the form or shape of the abdomen? Or is it the manner of rising? Or is it the nature such as stiffness or tension or what? Falling occurred. I noted that falling. When I noted falling, what you notice? Is it the form or shape of the abdomen? Is it the manner of falling? Or is it the nature such as relaxation or softness? And how long you can keep the mind? Sorry, there are three things that you need to report. What object arises? How you note? What you notice when you note the object? So in this way, I was noting rising, falling for how long? Yeah, just an estimate. You don't need to look at the watch. Is it 5 times? Is it 10 times? You can note rising, falling. You have to report. If you cannot note rising, falling, or the primary objects, sitting, touching, what happened? Is it the wandering mind? If it is the wandering mind, were you able to note it as wandering? If you were able to note wandering, what happened to it when you note it? Did it go on? Did it disappear? Did it stop? What happened? And if you are able to go back to rising, falling. Or is it the pain that distracts your mind, that draws the mind? Then, if you are able to note it as pain, if you are able to note it as pain, what kind of pain is it? Is it the heat pain? Is it the stiff pain? Is it the hard pain? Is it the piercing pain, needle pain? What is it? And when you note it, what happened to it? Did it increase? Did it decrease? Did it stop? Did it disappear? Or what other secondary object arise, such as sleepiness? When the sleepiness arises, were you able to note sleepy? If you can note sleepy, did the sleepiness go on? Did it decrease? Or did you fall asleep? Yeah. So reporting in the interview systematically, you are also helping the teacher so that if you report systematically, the teacher know how you are doing, what kind of advice to be given. You have to help the teacher so that the teacher can help you with advice. So uh, be honest with the report. Just if you have not uh, discerned anything, just report openly. I note rising. I just know it as rising. I can only keep the mind on the rising one time, two time, or whatever. Whatever that you come across in the sitting meditation, please report systematically and honestly. Also, you have to report your walking meditation, how long you are doing walking meditation, whether you are noting one step, lifting, place, one step, two step, three step, how long you were doing one step, how long two step, how long three step. And when doing walking meditation, lifting, what do you notice? What do you know? Is it the form or shape of the foot? Is it the manner of lifting? Or is it nature such as or pulling? Moving, what do you know? Placing, what do you know? So in this way, three things to report: the object, lifting, whether you can note lifting. When you know lifting, what you know. Yeah. Is it just the lifting? Is it the form or shape? Or is it the nature such as lightness? Yeah. So in this way, you should report the three things. So when being asked how long you can note, it's just an estimate. It doesn't mean you don't have to check the watch. You don't have to be counting. Just an estimate. Yeah. And in the interview, you should report sitting meditation, walking meditation, daily activities. Within the 10 minutes you are given, please report short to the point, covering these three parts of the practice within the time frame that you are given so that you are not making others wait long. Yeah. So this will be all for today. May you all be able to practice smoothly, diligently, so that you can attain your goal in meditation fast.
Sa,
Sadhu,
sa,
sadhu,
sa,
sadhu,
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namaskara.